Good day, I'm Luisa Arispe and this is PTV News Now. The CBCP Episcopal Commission on Liturgy has issued Oratio Imperata or prayer for rain. This amid the extreme heat the country is experiencing. Over 130 local government units have declared a state of calamity due to the El Nino phenomenon. Pag-asa earlier said 1 to 2 typhoons may enter the country this month, but hotter temperature may linger until mid-month. Task Force El Nino is also considering cloud seeding efforts. Extreme heat has scorched the country, with more areas recording dangerous levels of heat index, prompting thousands of schools to suspend face-to-face classes. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is one of the largest employers of overseas Filipino workers. An OFW from Santa Cruz, Manila, who helped receive help from KSA, did a tribute for KSA government. He made a mural basketball court with the face of KSA leaders. He said this will serve as an inspiration for many to keep working every day. The painting is worth 160,000 pesos. Besides being an inspiration, the OFW hopes it will also help strengthen the nation and the Desert Kingdom on their own and bilaterally.
Present ng daan-daan libo or countless na Filipinos po na natulungan na po ng UAE. Viral sila ng mas magiging magandang attitude sa mga kababayan natin, na magiging magandang ehemplo. Sana mag-umpisa sa lugar na to yung gusto ko sanang pareho nung Dubai.
President Joe Biden has defended the right to free speech but says order must prevail in college campuses. Biden addressed the nation after weeks of pro-Palestinian protests escalating in universities across the United States. The U.S. president also stressed that dissent is essential for democracy to thrive, let alone survive. He added that peaceful protest is in the best tradition of how Americans respond to consequential issues. Biden said he does not support calls by some Republican lawmakers, including House Speaker Mike Johnson, to send in the National Guard to quell protests. NASA may soon find another way to get astronauts into space. Plus, the agency reconnects with an old friend and how to train a dog for a walk on the moon. VOA's Arash Arabasadi brings us the week in space.
And liftoff of NASA Crew 8. Go Falcon, go SpaceX, and go NASA.
We begin this week on a launch pad from Cape Canaveral, Florida, where NASA and Boeing are getting ready for the first manned test of a new rocket designed to get astronauts and equipment to the International Space Station. That mission will feature NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams, who will pilot aerospace giant Boeing's CST-100 capsule, more commonly known as Starliner.
This spacecraft is awesome, right? I think in our office, people know that this one, there's a lot to know, there's a lot to do, there's a lot to be able to learn from the spacecraft. So I think if I was a young astronaut and I was thinking about going to the moon, I think I'd put my hand up and say, I want to fly Starliner.
Starliner is scheduled for launch on Monday, May 6th, where, if all goes according to plan, Wilmore and Williams will meet their ISS crewmates. Among them is NASA astronaut Jeanette Epps. The engineer, patent holder, and former CIA officer is spending about 6 months in space, making her the second black woman assigned to a long station mission. Before the flight, Epps said she's proud to be a role model for black girls, showing the dream of spaceflight is an option for them. NASA will live stream Monday's launch. Elsewhere in space, NASA was able to reconnect with an old friend who'd fallen out of touch since last November. NASA launched Voyager 1 in September 1977 to study our solar system. It spent years making discoveries like kinks in Saturn's rings and volcanoes on one of Jupiter's moons. But a bad computer chip late last year created what engineers described as a phone call where you can't hear the person on the other end. Through a marvel of modern technology, they were able to rearrange the coding on the 47-year-old craft from some 24 billion kilometers away on Earth. For context, it takes nearly 2 days to complete one such communication. Work remains underway to restore transmission of science data. Finally, this week, it's the stuff of science fiction dreams or nightmares, depending on the books you read. Its name is Spirit, and the four-legged robot is part of a project led by the University of Southern California with funding from NASA. The idea is to teach robots to sense subtle shifts in terrain like we do with our feet ahead of joint human and robot missions to space. The group behind Spirit has a 2-year, $2 million grant to help NASA put teams of collaborating robots on the moon. Arash Arabasadi, VOA News.
This is Luisa Erispe. Stay informed, get ahead, get the news right here.